Abandoning the Lord. Hello. Welcome to today's video. I'm glad to have you join me as we study the book of John chapter 21, 1-14, where Peter and the other disciples abandoned the Lord and returned to fishing. Our journey today takes us to the shores of the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus appeared to his disciples while fishing. After these things, Jesus manifested himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias, and he manifested himself in this way. Simon Peter and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, and two others of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, "I am going fishing." They said to him, "We will also come with you." They went out and got into the boat, and that night they caught nothing. But when the day was now breaking, Jesus stood on the shore, yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. So Jesus said to them, "Children, you do not have any fish, do you?" They answered him, "No." And he said to them, "Cast the net on the right-hand side of the boat, and you will find a catch." So they cast, and then they were not able to haul it in because of the great number of fish. John does not tell us why the disciples are back at Galilee, but Jesus had told them to return there where he would meet them. But we see that they were unsure of what to do since they were just sitting around doing nothing. Peter decides to go back fishing, and the others followed along. He was taking the lead. But the question is this: what sort of lead is this? The answer is this: Peter and the others were abandoning the Lord and going back to their former lives. That night they caught nothing, a picture of barrenness. They did what they thought was the right thing, but experienced utter failure. This prepared them to learn one of the central lessons of discipleship. Apart from Jesus, they can do nothing. John 15, verse 5. "I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears much fruit, for apart from me you can do nothing." To be a fisherman, a man must expect disappointments. He must often cast in the net and bring up nothing but weeds. The minister of Christ must reckon upon being disappointed, and he must not be weary in well-doing for all his disappointments, but must in faith continue in prayer and labor, expecting that at the end he shall receive his reward. Spurgeon. In verse 6, Jesus tells them, "Cast the net on the right-hand side of the boat, and you will find a catch." There was no reason why fishing on one side of the boat would be superior to fishing on the other. It wasn't even a direct test of faith in Jesus because they didn't realize it was him until the fish was caught. This was most likely a test of their capacity to find God's advice in unexpected places, such as a stranger yelling out fishing instructions from the shore. This story exemplifies the notion that we should never be scared to adjust our approach as long as it is guided by Jesus. Jesus revealed to the disciples particular locations where they may trawl for fish. So they cast, and now they couldn't pull it in due of the abundance of fish. The disciples caught a massive amount of fish. This was more of a supernatural deed by Jesus than a miracle. How well do we identify Jesus' work in our hearts and lives? How well do we recognize when he is at work in our lives, the fingerprints he leaves? Even when he is working in an incomprehensible and weird manner, such as throw your nets on the right, that isn't logical or explicable. But this is how he frequently operates. Maybe that's what Jesus was referring about when he told Nicodemus, John 3, verse 8. "The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it comes from or where it goes. So it is with everyone who is born of the Spirit." In our lives, we prefer things to be quite predictable. We prefer logical things so that we can grasp and make sense of what is going on in our life. But Jesus doesn't always function in this manner. So it's possible that when he works in our life, we miss it. For example, he may tell us to let our nets down on the right side of the boat after we've spent all night fishing on the left. Is that to say that what you've been doing all night was incorrect? No, not always. However, it does imply that Jesus occasionally has different ideas about how his kingdom work should be carried out. Ideas that don't make sense to us. Let's be encouraged by John 21 verses 1-14. Be blessed, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more studies on the Word of God.